Hi guys, Kane Harrison here. Welcome to the Nashville Real Estate Show. We're again in the Lippman Group, which is Sotheby's International Realty, and we of course love to be here on a Monday morning. We're joined by Bob Niemer. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you, Kane.
And of course, Larry Lippman.
Good morning.
Mate, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. Good morning, Kane.
Good morning. Well, we're going to jump straight into the house, Bob, and then we'll find out a little bit about you as we go. But we're going to look at this fantastic Midtown property, which is 1101 18th Avenue South, Unit 211. All the ones there. So if you could walk us through it. Walk us through this property, Bob.
Kane, this is 1101 18th Avenue. It is a beautiful mid-rise condominium unit built in 2007. There are 56 units in the building. As you come in the front door, the first thing you notice is the kitchen, how well appointed it is. Of course, it's granite, stainless steel. As you move down the kitchen, what you don't see to the right past that doorway is a large pantry. What you did see was room for a full-size washer and dryer, which is fairly rare for a unit like this.
It is, yeah.
As we move toward the living area, the first thing that catches your eyes, you'll notice the two-story living area, floor to ceiling. Large windows, tremendous amount of natural light. There are 5 balconies, 5 covered balconies in this unit. As you walk down the hall, this is the powder room or the half bath. There are 2.5 baths in the unit. This is the first of the master suites. There are 2 master bedrooms that virtually mirror each other. It's a 12 by 14 unit, ceiling fan. This is the large covered balcony off of this bedroom. The bathroom. Of course, there are double sinks that you don't see, a shower tub combination. As you make your way up the stairs, the room to the left is a 9 by 10 storage room, which is again rare for a unit this size. The second master suite, again 12 by 14, ceiling fans. This is one of the balconies off of the second master suite. The bathroom for the master.
Is that granite?
It is granite, Larry. It certainly is. Again, a shower tub combination, double sink. This is another unique feature of this unit, this large loft. Could be used for a lot of different things. Could be an office, could be a gathering area, an entertainment area, a small reading nook off the loft with its own covered balcony. The loft is just a tremendous, unique feature to this unit.
It is that all that natural light, I mean, from top to bottom.
Lots of natural light, and of course this is a shot looking from the loft down onto the living area. Another large covered balcony. And what you see in the background, Kane, is Scarrett Bennett. This unit is virtually right on the Vanderbilt campus. Beautifully maintained, well manicured, landscape, professionally managed. It does come with 2 dedicated parking spaces, which is really great for a unit.
Especially in Midtown.
Especially in Midtown. That is definitely something you want to try to have.
Yeah, a fantastic property, and you've walked us through it absolutely beautifully firsthand. Let's talk about Midtown. I mean, Larry, we talk about condos a little bit from time to time, but Midtown is such a hot spot right now.
Very hot right now, and this is one of the largest units in the Midtown area. Over 1,900 square feet. Hard to come by. And if you work in Hillsborough Village, if you work in Edge Hill, if you work at Vanderbilt, you can walk to Belmont. It is absolutely perfectly located for anything that happens in the Midtown area.
Sure.
And it's great that it's got the walkability.
Tremendous walkability. The people who live here walk everywhere. They walk to the Edge Hill Cafe, they walk to Belmont. It really is well located.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for people to get in to Midtown now because we can sort of foresee what's happening in Midtown. It used to just be Music Row. I mean, that was it, but it's changed so dramatically. And as you both said, to be able to walk down to 21st, you know, Broadway's right there, and then Demumbrium and everything that happens down there. Some wonderful little clubs and bars and night spots. It's great.
And as Bob said, with 1,900 square feet, you don't find that too often, nor do you find the quality that this particular unit shows.
Yeah, and I think that this sort of quality, as we said, Midtown's just attracting a different kind of clientele than what it would have perhaps even 5 years ago. So
It was for young professionals. It can be for students. It can be for anyone who works in that area. If you work downtown, really convenient to downtown too, walkable or biking. So it truly is well located.
fantastic. Now, Bob, before we let you go, we need to hear a little bit about you. You obviously know your stuff. You walked us through that absolutely beautifully. It's great to have you, obviously, in the Lippman Group. But tell us a little bit about Bob.
I spent almost 30 years in the retail clothing business. I had a ladies' clothing store in Green Hills for many, many years. It came time to make some changes in my life. Decided to retire, and after about 6 months, realized retirement wasn't for me.
Itchy feet.
Well, you're too young also.
much too young. I've always been interested in real estate. I've bought and sold a few properties in the past, and really do love real estate, and thought it would be a good time to get into it. After thinking about real estate, the only person really that I wanted to be affiliated was Larry. I've known Larry for, golly, 25 years.
At least.
A long time.
Yeah.
Larry's reputation is absolutely impeccable. So he's really the one person that I wanted to talk to. And fortunately for me, we talked, and Larry allowed me to come to work in his office. And what I found is there could not be a better situation for me. It is an absolutely professional office. The people here are wonderful. They couldn't be more helpful. And for me, it's just been a wonderful mix and a wonderful marriage. And I hope Larry feels the same way.
We do, and we're happy that you feel that way.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely do.
I mean, it's a classic example. Obviously, old friends, and you've been in the community for a good many years. But we say it all the time. The Lippman Group. I mean, it feels like a small business. You know, a very neighborhood type business. But we have this umbrella of this international clout with the Sotheby's International Realty that can help you with your marketing and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, and Larry's is not the largest real estate company in town, but I didn't want to be involved in the real estate. I wanted to be involved in the best.
Yeah.
And like you say, Larry's reputation is just top notch in town. And when he associated with Sotheby's, that just really made it extra special, I think. Sotheby's was without a doubt the premier real estate company worldwide. They bring so much to the marketing. They bring so much to being able to showcase your property, and I couldn't be happier being associated with them.
Well, I'm sure Larry's exactly the same. Hey, we've loved having you on the program. Don't
Thank you,
forget,
Kane.
so it's 1101 18th Avenue South in Nashville. It's right in Midtown. It's a fantastic location. We've got all Bob's details up on the screen for you guys to be able to contact him about this property. If you're thinking of listing a property, Bob's your man to see too. So we're going to ask Bob to exit
Thank you,
right.
Kane.
We're going to keep
Thanks,
Larry
Larry.
and bring Gloria in and keep talking about this Nashville real estate. Hey guys, welcome back to the Nashville Real Estate Show. We, of course, very much enjoyed having Bob on board and walking us through that wonderful Midtown property, but we have now made Bob get on out of here so we could bring in this real estate expert, which is Gloria Exum, who, of course, joins us weekly. Larry is still on board, but we're going to jump straight into appraisals and perhaps some of the pitfalls that people can walk through. As we talked about off camera, you guys were explaining the ins and outs a little more to me, and I like to keep up with the real estate market, but there was certainly a lot that I didn't know. And I know, Gloria, you're going to kick this topic off.
Absolutely, Kane. We've been talking a lot in our office about appraisals and how this is affecting our market right now. And part of this show, we've been wanting to help inform, the people viewing out there about listing their homes. And one of the things that we really strive for in our office is to provide the most accurate information to our sellers about the value of their property based on current market conditions and what's sold in the communities and so forth. But just the importance of having the home priced right is so important. Because we're seeing some appraisals come in low. We're seeing the market's a little bit ahead of the closed sales, so we're seeing some issues there.
Now, for people like me at home, I'll call it real estate for dummies. Walk us through that. I mean, I completely get it now because we've just spent 15 minutes talking about it off camera. But walk through that appraisal process and how perhaps it can be a bit of a tricky area for the seller to move through.
Absolutely, Kane. Well, what we're seeing is, we have some sellers out there in our marketplace right now that have really fantastic properties. They're in great condition. There's not a lot of homes on the market, and the sellers are feeling very confident about what they should list their homes for.
Right.
But there hasn't been a lot of movement in the last 6 months, maybe with some of those higher prices to support the actual sale. And part of what the public sometimes doesn't understand is that the buyer may agree to pay a certain price for the home, but the appraiser has to find closed properties to support that value.
Right.
And so what we're seeing is some of those appraisals coming in a little bit lower because there hasn't been closed sales. But the appraisers are chosen. The buyer's mortgage company will contact a third-party company, and then that third-party company will issue an appraiser to appraise that property. And so it's a pretty formal process that they go through.
Now, Larry, this seems like something that could be completely avoided. I mean, that's the whole thing to me. It's like if you get it right the first time at the start and have that open conversation, then the seller doesn't have to go through all this trouble to begin with. Because, I mean, real estate, it's a fantastic, exciting experience buying and selling, but it can be a bit troublesome too. But getting it right from the start, I think, is so important.
Well, and also having a contract, even if the price of the contract is higher than what you think it might appraise for, everybody's excited that it came in higher.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you'll get the appraisal back, and you've got a dilemma because it didn't appraise for whatever that price is. And that's what sellers need to realize, is that they want to price their properties for what the market is showing.
Right.
And if they go too much over that, then they may have the problem of working with a situation as to where they got a contract, but it didn't appraise, and then you've got to work through that.
Now, I mean, we know what's happening in Nashville right now. We say it all the time. It's such a hot market. But is this one of these issues being highlighted because of the way that the Nashville market is right now, or is this something that's always happened?
Well, and the other thing is, in answering to your question, is it is something that has happened in the past. But with it being such low inventory and the closings haven't caught up with the market and what the appraiser can see, so therefore they're going to use what's there. And it could be lower than what your contract price is.
Right. Gloria?
And Kane, I will add that depending on the price point and some of the terms of, you know, the loan situation, you know, we are seeing some buyers that, I mean, they love that house. They feel that it's worth more than the appraisal came in for. And they're willing to, you know, come to the closing table and bring the difference. Sometimes buyers are just not in that position. And if they are not in the position, or if the loan just doesn't allow for us to move forward with anything above the appraisal price, then that seller has to deal with having to come down to the appraisal price. But again, that is definitely another situation where having a professional realtor like one of our realtors here with the Lippman Group really comes in handy for that seller to have someone advise them through that process.
And I think I'm going to add to that, most of the time, a buyer is not going to pay over appraisal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, and so is this, I mean, obviously this sounds a little daunting, but the real estate market, I mean, we talk about it all the time, it's so hot right now. Is this the start of a bubble that might kind of burst? Is it easing off? What's happening?
Well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Because when I think of a bubble, I do think of a bust.
Yeah, well, let's not go back to 2008, but...
I don't feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because the appraisers are being too careful.
Okay, yeah. Well, I've learned so much about the appraisal situation. I hope you guys have. And of course, if you've got any questions, you can contact Larry, of course, or Gloria, and we've got all their information up there on the screen for you simply to click. Don't forget to check out Bob's property that we showcased earlier, and all the information's up there as well, and you can contact. He'd be delighted to walk you through that property or any of the other properties that we have listed on the Lippman Group website. So we've had a fantastic time. We'd love to see you next time, and thanks for joining us on the Nashville Real Estate Show.
And thank you, Kane.
Thank you, Larry. Gloria.
Thanks again.